Scenario 3. Yamamonogatari. Memeo Shino calls you on the phone. I've got it. Well, I have a probable theory as to what might be causing all this. Before I begin, let me know your progress. You first tell him about Tokyo. A giant invisible skeleton that no one could see but you. No one but you could see. You can sense Memeo Shino is nodding repeatedly over the phone. You also told him that you couldn't damage it until Yozuro Kaganui gave you a strange spray. Ah, yes. That's because it's impervious. Not even the Kokowatari could damage it unless you knew a particular inscription or special incantation to nullify its invulnerability, Memeo Shino explains. Memeo Shino sighs. Luckily, you're all right. Not so sure about Tokyo. At least normal people, it's just another powerful earthquake. Then Kyoto was next. A lady with nothing but black teeth, inscriptions on the wall. Memeo Shino is taking all the information that you relayed to him. You explained to him to the best of your ability what the inscriptions looked like. Summoning circles, Memeo Shino finally says. They're like pentagrams in Western occultism, but these don't summon Western demons, but Japanese ones. There are records of hexes that could also create an artificial eclipse over a region of space, too. Finally, you tell him about what had happened on the Shinkansen, Tengu, Mime said firmly. They're winged bird-like creatures the size of humans. What they're doing seems pretty appropriate of their nature. They're known for being unabashedly hostile to humans. As for the changing environment, I'm not sure what that implies. Give me some time to craft a theory, Memeo Shino says lazily. You get a nagging feeling that he's hiding something from you. Anyways, my contacts, Memeo Shino continues. If the Fire Sisters have joined the investigators, intro too. Memeo Shino asks you to pass the phone to them. Both sisters get on the phone briefly, exchanging a confused glance. They return the phone to you. Memeo Shino explains. From now on, don't let those two out of your sight. And I told them not to let you out of their sights. If the investigator with Karen Araragi and or Tsukihi Araragi is in their deck were to be killed or driven insane, remove that sister from the deck and record in your campaign log that Karen Araragi is at risk of disappearing, or Tsukihi Araragi is at risk of disappearing, depending on which sister was removed. Okay, so from now on, if I get killed or driven insane, if Shinobu does, then I have to remove them from the deck and record that they are at risk of disappearing. Okay, skip to intro 4. This time, you're going to ask the questions. What's going on? Why is all this happening? Meme clears his throat and begins. My senior, Izuko Gain, and a few of us opened that gate, and now I've brought you through as well. I believe the story cards are not a complete part of the campaign yet, so we'll just be leaving that, I guess, for when this is ready for like a full release. Before you ask Meme to elaborate further, the line goes dead. You stare at the phone in complete silence for a full minute. Then you receive a text. It says, oh dear. Okigahara Forest. Good enough. We control Kaimonogatari investigators, so we don't read this sidebar, and we control Kaimonogatari investigators, so we don't read this sidebar. Presumably it's exposition for the, if you're playing Roland or something, right? So, hey everybody, it's Pax. Getting around to Yamamonogatari, kind of doing this one at the last minute. This is Thursday night, right before Friday. Busy work week, so I haven't been playing much. I usually try to have these about a week in advance, but kind of let it get away from me. So, the setup for this one, I've mostly done here, but I'm just going to read through it because it's a little different. So you set up these sets. The Inhabitants of Yomi encounter set gets set aside out of play, which is right here. We find our delegate for the scenario, who seems pretty hateful, aloof, 175, Hunter, and the location gets +3 Shout. And then you have to discard a bunch of cards from your hand if she's at your location. At the start of the enemy phase, so not after she hunts, thankfully. So, but she only does 1 horror when you're engaged with her, so you could probably tank her for a turn. We set aside all 5 copies of Altered Forest, which are right here. Both copies of Tireless Pursuit. There's 3 of them here, so that might be a change. I mentioned in the deck building video, but I guess if you haven't watched the deck building video, I got a more recent beta version of the campaign, which has some updates to the second half here. Yeah, campaign guide second half version 1.5 beta. So I'm playing like a more modern version of this scenario than what you might find on the open TTS mod. So might be some small things like this popping up, but that's okay. Both copies of Another World. Where are those? Right here. Memeo Shino himself, the Talisman, and all 4 copies of Disassociative Fugue, which is a madness weakness that you probably get if you fail the scenario or something. And then the rest of the setup is placing the Okigahara Forest entrance, the Sea of Trees, with these unknown forest sections surrounding them in a pentagram. In a random orientation that I've already kind of shuffled off screen. Shuffle the remainder of the encounter deck to build the encounter deck. Encounter cards to build the encounter deck. Set this aside out of play. At a certain point in time, card effects may instruct you to put the encounter deck into play. So that's kind of where we're at. I've done my opening hands to save myself a bit of time. She got a pretty cool opening hand. She got the spray can, a stand together, a vicious blow. So she's in pretty good shape. And over here, Hitagi got a Madame Weightlessness. She was able to discard a Winging It, though she unfortunately had to get rid of a Resourceful and a Fire Axe, so that's kind of where she's at there. Mariner's Compass is really good. Weightlessness has a quick change from the beta version here. Draw actions do not provoke attacks of opportunity, so I'll be getting this into play really quick, because that is incredible. Resourceful and Burning Midnight Oil. So we're totally flush on cash. And we can have a pretty rocketing start here. Whoops. Weird zoom in. I also had to like redo the mod because I imported all this stuff in and it was like totally breaking it. Having both versions of the Sorry, I just text my wife good night. So we'll get the scenario reference card. Have we already done that? Yeah, it is down here. I've kind of got this set up right now. The skulls are -9. Add +1 for each location in play. The cultist is reveal another token. If you fail, place a doom on the current agenda. It can cause the agenda to advance. So that's super nasty, and we're going to have to basically not take tests we don't think we can pass pretty reasonably. Because that is scary, and there's two cultists in the bag right now. The tablet is -4. Move a creature enemy with the most health remaining, 1 location towards you, and the Elder Thing is -X, 1 plus the current agenda number. Oh, I have that on hard. Whoopsies. Oh dear. Well, that's good. That's excellent, actually. Let's correct that. I'm glad that I caught that, because I would have been playing that on the hard modifiers for a while. Alright, let's do that again. -1, -3 or if there are 4 or fewer locations in play, so there's 6 right now. Reveal another token if you fail by 2 or more. Place a doom on the current agenda. Okay, that's a lot more forgiving. -2 if you fail, move a creature enemy with the most health. 1 location towards you, and X is the current agenda number. Okay, so that's a lot nicer. See, look how tilted that was, right? This just went like big weight here, and then just shifted right here. And this is a nice spot for the bag to be sitting at. Like, this is a really happy looking distribution of tokens. I like this. So let's lock the numericals and the autofail and the Elder Sign, and we'll leave the rest of them because I think the rest of them lock that one too. But the rest of them can change. Did these not lock for some reason? There we go. Those 2 are going to lock as well. Okay. So we'll read the agenda and the act really quickly. Tenebrous Woods. You stand outside the entrance of the Aokigahara Forest. I'm going to mispronounce this so many times, this scenario. The silhouette of Mount Fuji far on the horizon. You're not sure if Memeo Shino is here to begin with. Neither are you sure you should be here in the first place. Do not draw encounter cards from the encounter deck during the Mythos phase. Forced, when Aokigahara Forest entrance is flipped over, immediately advance this agenda. Okay? A pattern. Your cell phone is working, and you can contact each other, but strangely you cannot call operator services nor anyone outside of the forest. Objective. When there are 3 resource tokens on this act, each investigator must lose all of their clues and immediately advance. Hint, it might be worthwhile to look at the reverse side of each unknown forest section in play. Alright. And I've got a beta thing here. When advancing Agenda 2A, advance this one. So this must be an alternate back to Agenda 2A that I'll have to read into, right? Deeper into the unknown. Yeah, there it is. So that's where we're at. We're starting here. Let's pull up this hand. And we'll get going. So I think we're going to start with Shinobu. And she's going to play Stand Together. So we both draw 2 cards and 2 resources. Ooh, 2 Imposter Oddities. That'll be nice. With this change to weightlessness, Imposter Oddities stock goes up dramatically. So that's really nice. One of the things that changed here is Ataxi. It's a permanent weakness now that gave me a trauma, but fortunately, since Kayomi is linked, all my allies are linked, I get to put the trauma on him. And if this has damage on it, I lose 2 resources every turn. So it's kind of an interesting. It's fortunate that this was changed the way it was in the Shinobu deck. But anyways, neither here nor there. Let's 1, 2, 3 for an Enchanted Blade. And you know what? Let's go 1, 2, 3 to get this strange spray cannon to play. And you also have... Oh, I just copied the card as well. You also have three uses on you. And I think we're going to expend this to just grab a clue. Because it sounds like we do not have a lot of time to get the clues off of this, and I don't know that she's going to have time to do what she wants to do, but we'll see. She's going to 1, 2, 3 play her weightlessness, and then 1, 2 play. Let's see. Let's do. Let's see. Maybe I'll do a Burning the Midnight Oil next. Ooh, but then okay. No. You know what I'll do? Okay. So 1, 2, 3 for a Mariner's Compass. And we will investigate with the Mariner's Compass and spend 1 resource to be 5 against 1. -2, so that gathers 2 clues because I have no money. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then last action, we will draw a card. Ooh, Contemplation. These were changed. They're actually just max once per turn on each of the cards. So presumably it's not 1 introspection per discard event. It is now just max once per turn. So I can only Imposter Oddity once a turn, I believe, but and Contemplation. But it does mean I can use 2 of them on a single discard event, which is kind of nice. So that'll be my first turn. So we're going to do Upkeep and Upkeep. That'll ready. Oh, look what I found. That's nice. Not going to be super useful here, but that's okay. We'll get 1 Doom. We don't draw any encounter cards from the encounter deck, and then we'll proceed. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use Hitagi over here first. And what she's going to do is she's going to investigate with a Burning the Midnight Oil for 2 resources. And I guess investigate 4 against 1. Reveal an additional token. -3. So that is a success. And then she's going to play Madame for 2 resources. And then she's going to investigate with the Mariner's Compass for 5. 5 against 1 is fine. -1. So we pick up the last 2 clues. So we've got all the clues off of it. While it's Agenda 1, Okigahara's forest entrance gains. If it has no clues, flip it over. So I can instantly advance this, or I can wait for the Doom to tick up and see what happens on the other side. And I think I'm going to flip it like at the end of the turn and see what that does. I think that's probably what I want to do. So that's her. She's going to use Madame to take a resource, and then she's going to, let's see. She's going to just Yeah, she's just going to use her action to draw a card. Nothing left to lose. Okay. Over here on Shinobu, she's going to... I think the Ruthlessness isn't doing much for me while I have the Enchanted Blade in play. So I'll save my money. I'll just do a draw. A draw. Ooh. And then we're going to flip this with one action left, I think. We're going to flip that over. The Forest Nexus is connected to every unknown forest section. This connection is only one way. So we've got a little thing like this, don't we? There we go. And when it's flipped over, I have to immediately advance this agenda. So if the Aokigahara Forest entrance was flipped over, as you proceed further in, you hear something snapping behind you. You turn around. Nothing. Then you notice that the path you made from the entrance is completely untrampled. You try to retrace your steps, but the opening where you came into the forest is completely gone. Put the set-aside encounter deck into play. Each investigator loses all of their clues. We'll do that. Okay. And we have one action left on her. I guess we're just going to get spit out somewhere and then pick a clue up from it, aren't we? Yeah, so she's going to move. She'll move down here, and she'll use the strange spray can to pick up a clue for free. And that'll be her. Okay. So we do upkeep. Upkeep. Tetsu will be nice to get out. Search for some more weapons. Forgot how expensive her deck was, and I guess this strange spray can was pretty expensive for what it does. I guess this flashlight would have been a cheaper way to get all these clues even faster, right? Okay, so, oh dear. Oh yeah, no, that doom is not there, though. So the upkeep phase is done. Put one doom there. I already shuffled this, so we'll start taking encounter cards. Tanuki, ambush. Each other creature enemy at the Tanuki's location gets +1 horror. Ooh. Start of the enemy phase. If he's unengaged, move him one towards the nearest creature enemy. Interesting. Okay, well, she's going to be making an attack against him, so she's at 5. And I think that's it. 5 against 2. I'd be pretty happy with a 5 against 2. I could put the Vicious Blow in and just try and kill him in one hit. I don't know if that's really a good idea with that 1/7 sitting off to the side, though. So we'll just do 5 against 2. Ooh, auto fail. Okay, so he hits me once for 1 damage. So we'll put that on Koyomi, because we're going to heal that back up in a minute. And then over here we get Perturbing Interpretations. Test 4. For each point you fail by, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. If you have no cards in your hand, after this effect resolves, Perturbing Interpretation gains Surge. Okay, so she's testing 3 against 4. She doesn't really have a way to boost it, so she just has to test that. Whoopsies. You may choose and discard 1 card from your hand to automatically succeed. Well, we've got the Mariner's Compass into play, so this is actually, like, not super good. It's fine, but it's not amazing. And I can't use these for their effects outside of my turn, and I hope I haven't been misplaying that at all. But I often forget it. Another thing to keep in mind is that look what I found is going to be doing nothing at these locations for a while. So I think I'm going to discard the Look What I Found, and that should be good. And I will automatically succeed that test. Okay. So, let's kill the Tanuki with the Enchanted Blade, that's for sure. Could use the scene of the crime to pick up this last clue, but that kind of seems like a bit of a waste. So let's go with Shinobu first. Let's attack here with the Enchanted Blade. We're attacking for 7 against 2. And I don't need to deal a bonus damage for this attack, do I? No, I don't. Okay, so 7 against... Ooh, I could put that into play. That'd be really nice, actually, to have in play, I think, this game, because tossing her some perseverances for icons would actually be really nice. And tossing her like this, if an ambush guy comes into play for her, would be pretty nice as well. Yeah. Anyways, we'll make one attack with the enchanted blade. You don't spend the charges until after you succeed. So we'll just do the attack 7 against 2. -2 currently. So that's a hit. And then we will use it again. 7 against 2. That's a hit. We'll spend the charge, dealing bonus damage. I get to draw a card, heal a horror, and heal a damage off of him, drawing me a card, which I don't think I'm actually going to draw a card because I'm actually pretty flush right now. And then the last action, I think that she's going to go 1, 2, 3, and play. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, she's got a lot of stuff in hand. Let me think. I could like play the cell phone and then just do an investigate. I'm only 1 up. That's not great. If I commit 1 icon, I'm 2 up. I believe this is ready, so I could just get the last clue off of this. Yeah, let's get the last clue off of this and see what happens. So there's a clue. We'll get the last clue off of this. I've still got an action left. After the last clue is discovered at this location, choose an investigator. That investigator flips this location over and resolves the text on the other side. Well, I'm going to choose myself. Activating the stone. The front of the stone has distinct tactile bumps and grooves on it. You attempt to randomly tap parts of the stone. Then you notice a pattern of switches appearing in a specific order. You might be able to solve this if you're quick enough, or you could just brute force it. Test 3 combat or 3 agility. Well, I'm testing 3 combat. This test gets +1 difficulty for each copy of Unknown Force section in the victory display. If you succeed, proceed to 1 step closer. If you fail, you may spend a clue to reattempt this test any number of times. If you cannot, proceed to 1 step back. Okay, so I have 2 clues that I could be using to just test 3 a bunch of times. Excuse me, yeah. I could just discard the Ruthlessness if I'm not too worried about my attacks. And I think if I can get this beat comp into play, I'm actually pretty happy just punching at people with an enchanted blade, just as much as I am using a Ruthlessness. It does get you 1 more attack, but it's like, I don't know. The enchanted blade kind of does what this does. I don't know if this was a great purchase for my end, but anyways, let's do a test of 3, and you know what? I'll just commit the Ruthlessness so that I don't have to waste clues on this if it's not necessary. So I'm at 5, 6, 7 against 3. Nice, cool. So we proceed to 1 step closer. A low and pleasant hum emits from the stone. It is undoubtedly a switch of some kind, and other similarly shaped stones within the area could do the same effect. Place a resource token on the act, then flip this location back to its revealed side. Okay. Interesting. Then I think what that means is I am going to play the cell phone, which I'm going to put in my body slot because I don't think I have a body slot at the moment, and that's fast. It'll let me commit stuff to her, which is, I think, going to be useful. And then I'm just going to move over to another location. I'm going to move to this adjacent. These are all connected to the location clockwise and counterclockwise. So let's move here, and then I'm going to move Hitagi like to the next one over. Because she could like plop a flashlight into play and grab clues pretty easily. And it seems like we need to go fast here. We do not have a long timer. So that's Shinobu. This was used. Does this get discarded when it's empty? No, it does not. Okay. Wonder if I should have kept one of those for an evade if I needed it, but it is what it is. So let's use Hitagi. Like I said, we're gonna move her. Maybe I'll move her to Shinobu. She doesn't have. I guess she does have Imposter Oddity, but that's only 2 damage or 1 evade. If an enemy pops out on her, she might be a little hung out to dry. So let's move her with Shinobu. let's discard the contemplation for one resource to play it. 1, 2. Hey, look at that. Crack the cases are useless. And after you discard one or more cards from your hand, exhaust this to draw a card or gain a resource. Let's just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's draw another card. Oogie. There we go. We do have a charisma now, so we can get her into play. That's nice. Let's spend one resource to investigate. Mariner's Compass, spending a resource to make it so that I'm going to grab both clues. And let's just do that. It's 5 against 1. -1, so I pick up both clues. And then we are going to be immediately choosing one of them to flip it over. So we're at the same location. You have better icons in general, I think. Should use the resourceful to grab something back. Let's have Hitagi flip this one over, because we already got a combat and agility one, so let's flip this over. Activating the stone. Sorry, one more text, and then I think I'm in the clear for the rest of the video. You circle around the stone back and forth, long, wilted strips of talismans and scrolls plastered with stone, covered in cryptic writings. You try to decipher the markings on the talismans, tapping the grooves of the stone in response. Test willpower or intellect 3. The test gets +1 difficulty for each copy of Unknown Force section in the victory display. If you succeed, proceed to one step closer. If you fail, you may spend one clue. So we're testing 4 against 3 or 3 against 3. Where I could commit her and that to the willpower. But I don't really like that very much. I think I'm going to be testing the intellect and using the clues to keep testing it. The question I have is, I guess 2 up is pretty good odds if I can do it a couple times. The problem is if you draw the cultist and then into something else and immediately advance the agenda, that's kind of scary. So let's test it once with a crack the case committed. I'll be 5 against 3. And that gets me past all of those. Yeah, that gets me past all of those. So 5 against 3. 6 gets me 2 more. Yeah, you know what? Let's commit the scene of the crime. To be 3 up. -2. Okay. Not necessary, but safe, right? Ooh. Yeah, okay. So that goes to the discard, that goes to the discard, and we read one step closer. Place a resource token on the act, then flip this location back to its revealed side. A low and pleasant hum emits from the stone. It is undoubtedly a switch of some kind, and other similarly shaped stones within the area could do the same effect. I think that's the same flavor text, but that's alright. So we flip that over, and we place a resource up on the act. Now, we are at 2 of the 3 resource tokens we need. So presumably, because these are getting more difficult as you put locations into the victory display, I'm assuming some of these are misses, and you just put them in the victory display without putting the resource on. So we'll have to be a little careful. She's going to use Madame Lebranche for $1, and then last action she's going to move up here. And that'll be her. So they're both done. Ready, ready. Upkeep, upkeep. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another enchanted blade. That's nice to see. That's ready, but it's no longer usable for the rest of the scenario, I don't think. So I'll just throw it in my arcane slot. In fact, I might just throw it right there as an asset to remove in case the crypt chill that is not in the scenario pops up. Yeah, no crypt chills. So that's the upkeep phase, and we will go right into the agenda here. I don't think I read this agenda. The entrance to the forest is gone. You trek deeper into the foliage of greenery. The trees high above block out the sun. The forest is strangely devoid of the sounds of wildlife. You start to get that nagging feeling that someone or something is watching you again. You can feel its prying eyes, if it has eyes, drilling into the back of your skull. So that's advancing. We don't read this one, allegedly. We instead read this one, which is... holy shit. Creature in the forest. 499-4. Spawn any investigator's location. Ambush massive hunter. So we're going to put him on her. She's going to be making an attack of 5 against 4. Not too happy with those odds, so let's toss the vicious blow in to be 7 against 4 so that he doesn't hit me for a free. God, that is brutal. So we're going to have to stay 2 locations ahead of it from now on. Ambush massive hunter. So this is something I messed up in the last scenario. Ambush massive, they actually attack everyone at the location. The ambush goes off at everyone. And I think I messed that up in the last scenario, or one of the scenarios that I've played. Creature in the forest cannot attack except from its ambush keyword and cannot be exhausted. When creature in the forest would enter your location, instead, resolve creature in the forest's ambush keyword as if it had entered play. Wait, what? When it would enter your location, instead of entering your location, resolve his ambush keyword as if it had entered play? Oh, I see. Okay. It still enters your location, I think. That's a bit confusing. I'll have to... Hopefully I'm playing this correct when I do it. But anyways, I'm doing an attack against him due to the ambush. And if I miss, he'll be hitting me for 1 horror. So 5, 6, 7 against 4. This is currently... This agenda enters play, place 3 doom on it. Okay. Lovely. Very cool stuff. Well, let's just... No sense in doing that. When you resolve the placement doom in the agenda step of the mythos phase, instead remove 1 doom from the agenda. Or remove 1 doom from play if there's no doom on the agenda. If there's no doom in play, advance. How come? Oh, yeah. Okay, interesting. Okay, so anyways, this did hit. That is a -3, so I just hit it for 2 damage. Well, I'm never going to be able to do 99 damage to him, so that's going to be an interesting thing. Okay, so the encounter, not the encounter, but the mythos phase occurs. A Tanuki, ambush. Each other creature at a Tanuki's location, which this guy is, of course, gets +1 horror. So he's going to be attacking me for 2 horror from, well, the Tanuki's with him. And that's what he does. He goes and follows them. So let's do an attack. It's 5 against 3, or 5 against 2, excuse me, so deal damage to him. Okay, so that's where that went. Over here we get Inexorable Fate, Peril. Put this into play in any investigator's threat area if there's no copy of it in their threat area. When they would take 1 or more damage and or horror, double that damage and or horror, discard Inexorable Fate. Okay, well, let's just put it on, we'll leave it on Hitagi. What is Hitagi going to do? Hitagi is going to want to get Oogie into play. And what she's going to do to get Oogie into play, you know what, maybe I should go with, should probably go with Shinobu first. So let's do the attack with the Enchanted Blade against the Tanuki. 7 against 2. -1. So we spend a charge, which kills it. Which draws me a card and heals me a horror, which I of course don't have any horror to heal, and heals me 1 off Koyomi, which I am going to draw a card off of. Okay. Then she's going to move away from him this way, I believe. There. She could put the safeguard into play, though. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to move there, which I believe does a horror, right? Because he's still massive, and he's engaged with me, so he deals an attack of opportunity. Okay. So 1 horror. And then last action, 1/2 for a safeguard. Was that correct? Attack, move, safeguard? Yeah. Okay. That's her. So Hitagi is going to... I think we're going to be a little cheeky, and we're going to look at the other side of this without resolving its text, because I don't want to hit any speed bumps on this. So let's look at the other side of this. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to use this with Hitagi, because she's going to be able to pick up clues from the rest. And when these flip, I want her to have more clues to be able to retry a test if it's tough. So we're going to spend 1 clue from Hitagi to look at the other side of this without resolving. Talismans in the stone. Test 9 of any of them. Investigators as a group may spend any number of clues from any location. For each clue spent, the test gets -1 difficulty. If there are 2 or fewer investigators in the game, it gets -2 difficulty. For each point you fail by, you must lose. Choose any option below to resolve. Okay, so this is the last location I need to investigate, and I'm going to be getting a 7 difficulty test, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if I get these 2 clues before I do it. So I spent 1 clue to check that. So we're going to investigate here. I'm not going to be able to get Oogie into play, but that's okay. I'm going to investigate here, spending 1, 2 with the Mariner's Compass to be 6 against 1. The skull is currently -1, so that's successful. I grab the 2 clues. And then I immediately flip this over and resolve this. Okay, so activating the stone. The talismans in the stone have rather distinct tactile bumps and grooves on it. As you walk to the stone, a blaring klaxon plays from it, and you are blinded by an array of flashing lights emanating from the stone. As you shield your eyes and try to muffle your ears, the cacophonous sounds slowly wither away. Then all that remains is a nice and pleasant low hum. So we're testing intellect at 9. We may spend, as a group, any number of clues from any location. For each clue spent, the difficulty is -1. If there are 2 or fewer investigators in the game, it's already -2. Oh no! If there are 2 or fewer investigators in the game, this test gets -2 difficulty instead. So it's not just -2, it is -2 per clue spent. Okay. For each point you fail by, you must choose any number below. Okay. Okay. So I'm testing 9. And I'm testing 7, 5, 3. Right? So we're testing 3, 4. Oh, we'll just get a buck from Madame. 5 against 3. Don't think I need 2 of him. 6 against 3. I could technically try this again with a live and learn if I need to. So I think 6 against 3 is fine. You know what? I have this nothing left to lose for the Burning the Midnight Oil. I don't think I need the money off this. So let's actually just get 4. Let's get 4, 5, 6, 7 against 9. 7, 5, 3. Okay. 7 against 3. The auto fail. Okay. So I do have to choose an option below to resolve any number of times. So I'm going to be discarding cards from my hand probably. Unfortunately, it's not super useful, but that's okay. So we're going to discard 1 card from our hand. We're going to... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, discard a card from our hand. Yeah, this is okay. This is okay. And then take 1 damage and 1 horror. Is that correct? 1 damage, 1 more. Yeah, okay. All right. So we failed by 3, and we're doing that. But the important thing here, for each point you fail by, you must choose any option below to resolve any number of times. After this test ends, place a resource token on the act, then flip the location back. I don't have to succeed at this. Okay, so that just is over. And after I've discarded any number of cards from my hand, I will gain a resource, because I do want to get her into play. So those go away. I didn't get to my resourceful, unfortunately, but that's okay. So then I flip this back over and I place my last resource here. And I think I advance this act, right? When there are 3 resource tokens in this act, each investigator must lose all their clues. Immediately advance. The entire forest starts to crumble, and the blaring sound of a faraway klaxon begins to pierce your ears. Your vision goes blurry, and the world begins to shift and change. You open your eyes. The entire forest before you is covered in some strange ethereal substance. The forest has dyed in a rust blood color. For each unknown forest section in play, remove all of its clues, then replace it with a copy of Altered Forest, revealed aside face up, placing clues equal to its printed clue value. Shuffle the Inhabitants of Yomi encounter set and both copies of Another World from the Esotericism encounter set into the encounter deck, along with the encounter discard pile. Move each investigator at Forest Nexus to a connecting location. Replace the Forest Nexus with the set-aside cabin location, unrevealed side face up. Remove Agenda 4 from the game without resolving its B side. Spawn each delicate enemy at the cabin. Okay, interesting. So, let's do those in order. For each unknown forest section in play, remove all of its clues. Then, replace it with a copy of Altered Forest, revealed side, face up, placing clues equal to its printed value. So here's the Altered Forest. Are these the revealed side? I suppose they are, right? Okay. And then, shuffle the Inhabitants of Yomi. Oops, didn't get the whole set. And both copies of Another World from the Esotericism encounter set into the encounter deck, along with the encounter discard pile, so I get both my Tanukis back. Sweet. Move each investigator at the Force Nexus, which is right here, to a connecting location, and then replace the Force Nexus with the set-aside cabin location. Unrevealed side up, so that's right there. The path to the cabin winds endlessly as you approach it. You cannot enter the cabin until 3 or more copies of Altered Forest have no clues on them. Alright, so we're probably going to be just running from this guy for a while, aren't we? Okay. Remove Agenda 4 from the game without resolving its B side. So I just remove this. Spawn each set-aside delegate enemy at the cabin. So these are now two-way, but I can't go in because I do not meet the condition. But she is going to be connected to me, and she is going to hunt in the first turn. She's going to hunt in on us the first turn there. Okay, so that's interesting. But anyways, that is me having flipped that location and done the act, right? So, a new act, right. The new act. That's the part that I was not considering. Here we go. Progress. You see a cabin situated in a location that you've already searched among the strange, dense foliage. It is possible that Mimeo-Shino could be there. After the last clue is discovered at any copy of Altered Forest, each investigator loses all of their clues. Choose an investigator. That investigator flips the location over and resolves the text on the other side. If an investigator has taken control of Mimeo-Shino, advance. Interesting. Okay. So, the one thing that I failed to do, I guess, is spawn the one per investigator clues on each of the Altered Forests. So that's where we're sitting. I believe that's everything. Now, I don't have a way to get both of those clues this turn, so what we're going to do is we're going to excuse me. We're going to scoot up here, and she's going to safeguard with me. So that's our location farther away from this asshole. We're going to... What are we going to do? We're going to take a resource, I think. No, we're going to draw a card first. Nice. And we're going to... Should I play the Fire Axe? Yeah, we're going to play the Fire Axe. Yeah, we're going to play the Fire Axe. That's fine. Okay. So that's where we're at. The enemy phase is the hunter phase, I guess. He moves there. She moves on to them, and she's aloof at the location. I wonder if she can deal with her this turn. Probably not. We get upkeep into upkeep. The Kokowatari was changed, so there's the revised Kokowatari. I'll just flash it up on the screen for a sec. Pretty good. Another mirror compass. Okay. Oh, hold on. How does this work? When this agenda enters play, place 3 doom. When you would resolve the place 1 doom on the agenda step of the Mythos phase, instead remove 1 doom from the agenda, or remove 1 doom from play if there is no doom in the agenda. If there's no doom in the agenda, if there's no doom in play, advance. Okay. So that goes down 1. Just want to make sure that I'm not like missing anything. I hope I'm not. Okay, so 1 doom and 1 card. Tempest Edex Rerum, attach it to the current agenda. When the agenda advances, each investigator takes a damage in horror. Test 3 or 3 to rewrite your fate to remove it. So we'll put that right there. And over here we get another Tempest Edex Rerum. Did I shuffle that? I was quite certain I shuffled it. I'm just going to do a quick search on it to make sure. Yeah, the rest of it's shuffled, so that's just how it got put in. So we have 2 of those impending over us, but that's okay. That's not too bad. The location has +3 shroud right now, so she does have to kill him this turn. Right. Of course she does. I knew that. So we're going to engage her. And we're going to swing at her with the Enchanted Blade for 5/6 against 1. -2. That hits for a damage. And we'll swing at her again. For another damage. Okay, so that's her. Unfortunately. Over here, was I supposed to do another one? Yeah, we spend the blade actually to deal an extra damage because she can deal 4 damage on her turn to her, finishing her off. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to discard a card, the Imposter Oddity, and spend 1 resource to deal 2 damage to an enemy at my location. So we use 5 out of 7. We're going to use a weightlessness to gain a resource back. That's action 1 of our normal actions. We're going to spend 2 resources with the Fire Axe attack, putting us at 6 against 1. -3, which kills her. The victory display, of course, this is a much bigger log than the other one, so it's taking up a lot of room, but that's okay. And we've got 2 actions left. Let's get a buck with Madame Lebranche. Let's investigate the location for 5/6 against 3. I'm okay with that. Ooh, an Elder Sign. Alright, that succeeds. So we get the 2 clues. After the last clue is discovered, each investigator loses all their clues, so choose an investigator. That investigator flips this location over and resolves the text on this side. So let's just choose her. 1 false step. Uh-oh. The investigator who flipped this location reads the text aloud. You look up to the crimson sky while walking, wondering what causes the color. This soon proves to be a mistake as you trip and fall into a narrow chasm. The red light slowly melts into the blackness of the long chasm as you scrape against the sides of the walls, trying to slow your fall. And then the chasm widens and you start to hit against tree branches as the red landscape returns. As you look down, you start to see the forest path from where you were walking early. Are you falling from the sky? You have to think fast. I am not Yotsugi Ononoki, so if you are any other investigator, choose and discard 3 cards from your hand. If you cannot, you fail to break your fall and hit the ground. Strangely, it doesn't kill you, but it does hurt. Take 2 damage. Flip this back to its location side. From any of the scenario, you cannot flip this location. So I have to choose and discard 3 cards. Let's go 1, 2, 3, unfortunately. Okay, so we're done there, and then last action we will safeguard and move both of us down here. So that's them. He hunts there. Upkeep, upkeep. Playing that nothing left to lose for sure. And then -1 doom here, and we each draw an encounter card. We get the Yatagarasu. Ambush. Get +2 evade while resolving the ambush keyword. After it engages you, discard an asset you control, then discard Yatagarasu. So that's fine. We're testing the ambush of fight, so we're going to fight it for 5 against 2. Succeeds, it deals damage, and then after it engages me, I discard an asset I control, which is the strange spray can, and then I discard this. So presumably the idea is like you have to vicious blow them, I guess. Excuse me. Or if you evade them, they don't engage you. I guess that's the deal with them. Interference. You must decide. Choose and discard 2 cards from your hand, or choose an investigator. You must choose and discard 2 cards from their hand without looking at them. So she needs these cards to operate, so we're going to discard these 2 cards from her hand, a beat cop and an enchanted blade. That's pretty bad, but we do have Tetsuo to go dig for more weapons soon. But we kind of just couldn't deal with that. Was this an inexorable fate before or after I took that damage? Don't remember. I think I also took that damage while I had Madame in play. But whatever. I'll keep it out, I guess, just in case I mess up there. So we'll play the nothing left to lose to go 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have fewer than 5 resources, gain resources until you have 5. Okay, remove this from the game. If you have fewer than 5 cards, draw until you have 5. So 4 cards. Okay, so that's where she's at. She's going to then play this Winging It from the discard pile. This is a 2 shroud location now, and she will commit perception to this investigate. So it is a 6 against 2. -2 is successful. This shuffles into the deck. I get the 2 clues. Let me double check the order on that. Actually, I don't know what the order of that is precisely. After resolving its effects. Okay. Okay. So, I'll get the 2 clues. That must be after the test is complete. Actually, you know what? I'll take the draw from the perception first. Gain extensive research. That's nice. Some icons. And then I get the 2 clues. And the last clue is discovered, so we all lose all of our clues. And then I flip the location. I think I'll do the same thing where she flips it. Strange voices. The investigator who flipped this location over reads the text aloud. The voice of a man calls you from the darkness of the woods. It sounds really uncanny, as though it was coming from a tape recorder. The voice coaxes you to come closer to them. If you are Hitagi Senjukahara, it sounds like your father, which is making you uneasy. You move away from the voice as fast as you can. You may discard any number of cards from your hand, or draw any number of cards. Take 1 horror for every 3 cards in your hand, and take 1 damage for every 3 cards below your maximum hand size. Okay. I think that I actually just don't draw and take 1 and 1, which gets doubled from this. Because they're simultaneous. So my reading of Inexorable Fate here is when you would take 1 or more damage and or horror. So in any instance where you are taking damage and horror, this applies. So I think I'm taking one. Okay, so for every 3 cards in my hand, I take 1 damage. Sorry, take 1 horror for every 3 cards in my hand, which is 1. And I take 1 damage for every 3 cards below my maximum hand size, which is 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this gets discarded. I could kill Madame and just play the next one, eh? I wonder if that's the thing to do. No, because I need a move. And I don't want to play her next turn. So that gets shuffled into my deck. Flip this location. Flip this back to its location side from any other scenario. You cannot flip this location. Okay, so we've done that altered for us now. Oh, I wonder. You know what? I think he's supposed to be in the center right now. I think I fucked up. I think he would be here. Yeah, I fucked that up. That's my bad. I can't enter the cabin until 3 more copies of Altered Force have no clues on them, but he can. So he's not following me around in the circle, he's walking right through the center. Okay. So then the timing of that's not that big of a deal, but I'll still do what I did here. And then I guess, should I also play the Crack the Case to give him some money? Yeah, so I'll play the Crack the Case to give her 3 money. Oh, actually, well, it's only 2 because of the Shroud having been reduced, but that's okay. Last action. Man, he's fucking annoying, isn't he? That's really fucking annoying. Where's the old campaign log? Where did I put that? I thought I like shoved that off to the side somewhere. Darn. I don't think I left it out for myself. I wanted to double check the rules on Ambush and Massive, but I'm pretty sure what's going to happen, he's going to walk in, they're both going to have to take the test and take Horror, and then also, because he's a massive enemy after hunting, he'll attack each of them? Does that sound right? Man, that sounds brutal. That sounds brutal. Okay, whatever. Last action. Let's discard this Winging It as well. And we'll use Weightlessness to draw a card. And last action, we'll move down to this next location and bring her with me, the safeguard. So, with this Enchanted Blade all used up, the Kaimonogatari is actually looking pretty slick. Because I'm out of weapons, and I really don't want to just have a beat cop. That's not really what I'm happy to see as my only options. I wonder if this deck could use a Bandolier, so I don't have to get rid of that to play this big guy. Maybe once I've upgraded this, that would make more sense. Okay. Let's think. She's kind of low on horror, and Tetsuo would be nice. She is a little beat up too. Tetsuo would be nice just to take the edge off of how much damage or how much horror he's going to be dealing out. Curious what the other one looked like. Yeah, he's just... Ooh, wait. Right, okay, sorry. I'm glad I went and checked that. Creature of the forest cannot attack except from its ambush keyword. Okay, so it only deals the 1 horror. That's not so bad. But it is going to deal 1 and then also take an attack of opportunity because I can't exhaust it, right? That's the problem. So it's not going to deal 3, but it is going to deal 2. Okay. Oh no, but it can't attack. Okay, so it's only going to deal 1. Okay. Whew, okay. Alright, I'm feeling better about this now. That's not so bad. So let's, then let's 1, 2, 3, just like I said, throw Tetsuo into play. Let's, draw a card. Son of a bitch. And let's draw a card. Alright, fine. It is what it is, right? So he hunts in, and then I have to do the ambush against both of them. So she can test 2 against 4, so let's do that. Yeah, that definitely fails, so he deals a horror right there. And you're testing... What are you testing? Well, I guess it'll be the same thing, 2 against 4. -2, so you take a horror. And I'm going to deal that to... Should I just kill Tetsuo for a weapon? I think I do. Yeah, let's just kill Tetsuo. Do I grab the E-Blade back, or do I grab... I don't remember what my other weapon is. Is it just the 45 that's not upgraded? Yeah, it is. So let's grab the E-Blade back. I think the E-Blade's a little bit better. Just because it can actually hit higher health guys. Okay. Upkeep phase. If there's no doom in play, advance. The strange creature is gone. Set creature of the forest aside out of play. This is the first time you have advanced to Agenda 3B. Shuffle all copy. Although you have a hunch that you won't see the last... Sorry, the strange creature is gone. Although you have a hunch that you won't see the last of that thing. Shuffle all copies of Tireless Pursuit into the encounter deck. And both of these happen where we each take 1 direct damage and a horror. So... That's nasty. Funny that doesn't shuffle the... Okay. The forest doesn't look like anything you've ever seen before. Strange, unidentified plants, altered world, sorry. Growing out of the crimson soil, and an eerie, low hum emanates throughout the environment. You need to find Memeo Shino and get out fast. The scenario will not end when this agenda advances, but something may return. Ha ha ha! I wonder what it'll be. So he's gone. Presumably he doesn't have the damage on him anymore, but I don't know. I'm just going to keep it there because he has 99 health, right? Like, what's the point of him having that much health if he doesn't, right? So over here first, we get the Tsuchinoko Surge, the furthest empty location from the investigators, and he has aloof, which is going to be anywhere 2 away. Oh, we could even get him. But he does have Surge. We must either place a Doom in the agenda. This can cause the agenda to advance. Or, if it's 3A, move him 1 location towards you. Okay, and that surges into Hylophobia. Assign the 4 options. Lose 1 action, discard an asset you control, take 1 horror, choose and discard 2. Among investigators as evenly as possible. Then, each investigator tests 1 willpower. This gets +1 per investigator difficulty. Each investigator who fails must resolve the above option that they were assigned to. Ugh. Oh my god, that sucks. What a mess. Alright, so we're gonna go discard an asset you control and choose and discard 2 cards from your hand over here. And you're going to get lose 1 action and take 1 horror. So we'll test yours first, mine first. We're going to be testing 3 against 3, right? +1. So we're going to put in the Perseverance. Is that okay? Yeah, put in a Perseverance. So testing 5 against 3 for discarding 2 cards and discarding an asset. -1, so that succeeds. And then over here, we're going to commit a Perseverance as well. to her, so she's at 5 against 3 as well. Can she afford not to have another nothing left to lose? I think so, actually. 5, because I'd like to get past these if I can. But do I commit the live and learn, or do I commit the nothing left to lose? I think I'm going to commit the nothing left to lose, as stupid as that might sound. So she's going to be 6 against... Oh, yeah, so she fails. So she takes 1 horror and loses an action. And I'm just going to kill Madame and replay Madame in a sec. Based on that. Okay. So that's her ridiculous phase, and you get another world. When it's put into play, disengage from each enemy engaged with you, move to it. Choose 2 cards in your hand or discard cell phone. If it's in your play area, discard 1 clue from another world. If there are no other clues on another world, or when the investigation phase ends, move each investigator another world to any revealed location. Okay, well, it would have been really nice to really nice to have that, I guess. But that's okay. What she's going to do is she's going to it's got 1 clue on it. Yeah. She's going to discard an extensive research and a live and learn to get the clue off that. And when she discards cards from her hand, she's going to draw a card. Of course, she gets him. That technically goes off before I discard this clue, I think. Right? So, since paying the cost, this is after I've paid the cost, I draw a card. So I drew that card before the clue comes off of this, so I do have to do my ambush on this guy first. So I will just do an avoid on him, or an evade on him, I guess. So 2 against 2. -2, so he hits me for 1 and 1. But I get the clue, and move each investigator in another world to any revealed location and discard it. And then she is going to last action. Oh, God. Well, she can take draw actions without triggering attacks of opportunity, so let's do that. Let's take 1 draw action, and let's take another draw action. Sharp vision. There, that'll be nice. Okay. Over here, Shinobu is going to 1-2 to flip him over, and he's got 2 damage on him. Oh, she can't deal 2 damage if she... Oh my god. Brutal. You know what she's going to do? She's going to engage him. Yeah. Oh, right. While he's engaged with you, you can't draw cards or else he attacks you. Right. I forgot about that. So let's reconsider that. I guess last action last action she spends a bunch to do an attack with the fire axe, right? And he has 1 damage on him. So instead of engaging him, she's going to do an attack 5, 6, 7 with the enchanted blade and kill him. Okay, there. That's happier. And then she gets to heal Koyomi for 1. She doesn't have any charges, but she does get to draw a card out of it. Tsukihi here was changed, so that's good to know. The end of the round, he's just gonna get removed from the game. I didn't find my way to him. Upkeep and upkeep, glory and a master of disguise. Interesting. And then Doom gets placed. The dreadful shrill cry returns. Reset the agenda back to 3A. Place agenda 5 back on the agenda deck, and place agenda 3 on top of it. Search out of play areas for the creature in the forest and spawn it. And he comes into play at us. We each have to resolve his ambush. So 5 against 4. Let's go 6, 7, 8, 9 against 4, and just do a big attack. Yeah, -1. We'll heal from Koyomi and draw a card with that, and then discard that. And she is doing it as well. And I think that she just has to do an evade and fail it, right? Okay, so she takes 1 horror. And now she is locked down and can't do anything because he will kill her if I do. So that's fucking stupid. Oh no, no attacks of opportunity. Yes, I keep forgetting no attacks of opportunity on him. So, one over here is the Nekomata. Prey, the investigator who likes cats the most. Well, fine. Ambush Hunter gets +2 fight while resolving the ambush keyword. If an investigator fails a fighter evasion attempt while resolving the ambush keyword against him, shuffle him into the counter deck. Okay. So we're going to try the fight. We'll be up 5 against 2. Sorry, 5 against 4. But that's the best we can do, really. -2. Okay. So he does attack me for 1 and 1, which is going to go 1 and 1, and he gets shuffled back into the counter deck. And then over here we get a Tanuki. Where he ambush. So he's going to be attacking me for 1 damage. We're going to have to do a fight against him, I think. I guess ultimately an evade is just as good. 1 damage. So, we're getting pretty fucked over here. If I just stand here, does he not attack me? Is that a thing? Have I been like totally fucking this up and not paying attention? Now that I'm here with him, I think he just stands there and doesn't do anything, right? He can't attack except from his ambush keyword. He can't be exhausted. When he would enter my location, you instead resolve his ambush keyword as if he had entered play. But if he's just standing here, nothing happens, right? So I can just ignore him. I think I've been totally thinking about that completely wrong. And I'm kicking myself for having thought about it so wrong. So what do I do here? I think that she makes 1 attack against him, trying not to kill him. No, she goes 1-2 for a Hollowed Mirror, drawing a Soothing Melody and putting those into her deck. And then she plays a Soothing Melody to heal 1 and 1 off of her and draw a card. And then she attacks him for 1 damage, 7 against 2 for 1 damage. And then over here, she's going to attack him to 3 with the Fire Axe for a lot. 8 against 2. -3, so he's dead. I'm going to play... I'm going to draw a card. Play the Master of Disguise. And then when I would pay for my Madame, I'm going to discard 2 cards to consider the cost paid and use that to gain a resource. Use that to draw a card, rather. And then Madame is going to gain me a resource. It was fight him, draw, play. Yeah. Okay, upkeep. 1 doom gets removed from there. And then we draw encounter cards. Inexorable Fate. We're going to have to heal ourselves a little more. Entanglement. Put Entanglement into play in your threat area if there's no copy of Entanglement. You get -1 and cannot move more than once per round. Test 3. You may spend 1 charge from Strange Break and automatically succeed this test. If you succeed, remove Entanglement from the game. Wow, that's big. But I don't have it. So I can't move more than once per round. Interesting. Okay. Is what it is, I guess. So, let's think about how we live, because we're not looking too hot right now. I think one thing that we have to do is get a weapon in play for her. This is going to be potentially damaging for us, so we're probably going to use the sharp vision to try and get both those clues at once. Just trying to think of what the fuck I'm going to do here. This scenario is kicking my ass. So she's pretty safe on health right now. She's got 3 and 3, but you're at like 1 horror away from just instantly folding. So I think you probably have to use the Soothing Melody to heal yourself up a bit. And then I bet it would be nice to get this beat comp into play. So how about we do a Soothing Melody for 1, 2. No, 1, 2. After we heal him, draw a card. Okay. And then draw a card. Okay. Alright, fine. Soothing Melody for 1, 2. No. 1, 2. And then draw a card. And then I will take a resource as the last action on her. Okay. That's not what I wanted to get done this turn, but it's what got done. You, on the other hand, are going to investigate this location with the sharp vision. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against 3. It's pretty good. Zero. Speed both the clues. We automatically lose all of our clues, and then we flip this location. Who's flipping it, though? Let's choose her to flip it, I guess. In the shadows. The investigator who flipped this location reads over the text aloud. If you are, you turn around to the sound of snapping twigs behind you. If anything, it does not sound friendly at all. If you are Shinobu Oshino, you ready the Kokobatari. Test 6. If you succeed, you fell the figure in 1 clean slice. Reveal cards from the top of the encounter deck until you reveal an enemy. Add that enemy to the victory display. You earn 1 experience. Record this in your campaign log. After this test resolves, flip this back to its location side. For the remainder of the scenario, you cannot flip this location over. Shuffle the encounter deck. Okay, so she really wants to pass that. We're currently at 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is putting a vicious blow. You know what's interesting is I could live and learn that. And I think I'm going to. This seems like the kind of thing that I just live and learn. So I'm at 5 against 6. +1. I succeed. Okay, cool. So reveal cards from the top of the encounter deck until you reveal an enemy. He is put in the victory display, and I instantly gain an XP. And I shuffle the encounter discard pile. Sorry, just the encounter deck. Flip this back to its location side for the remainder of the scenario. You cannot flip its location over. Okay. So 3 copies have no clues on it. I can go into the cabin now. Okay. So that's that. I have 2 actions left. She could technically move in and have her safeguard with her. But, like, that just sounds so nerve-wracking. Holy shit, does that sound nerve-wracking. But I guess we gotta find Meme, don't we? So let's do the move, and we'll have her safeguard after. So she moves in. Place to set aside Meme Yoshino with this location. +1 shroud for each card in your hand. If you succeed, instead of discovering clues, take control of Meme Yoshino. Okay. She safeguards in. She's going to discard this Winging It for a resource. Should be 4 against 2 if she gets that investigate successfully. So let's try that, and we'll commit a flashlight to be 5 against 2. Hey, there we go. Take control of Meme Yoshino. So he's right there. He is a 4-cost asset. After Investigator resolves a treachery card at your location, exhaust him and deal 1 horror to him. Search the encounter deck for another copy of that treachery and discard it. Shuffle the encounter deck. Cool. We advance. Meme Yoshino doesn't seem like he was in any trouble. In fact, upon meeting you, he laughs. You look lively. Did something good happen for you? You're just relieved to see another human in this forsaken forest. Flip the set-aside Forest Nexus and put Aokigahara Forest Entrance into play. Set each investigator and enemy aside. Investigators and enemies are not defeated during this process. Move the placement of each location to form a straight line with cabin on the left and Aokigahara Forest Entrance on the right. Place each location in between the cabin and Aokigahara Forest Entrance. Place each investigator and enemy at cabin. Okay. That's the first half of this, I think. Okay. Reset to agenda 3A. Okay. So we're already on 3A, so presumably nothing happens? I don't know what resetting would constitute in this. I don't think there's any additional rules, so we'll just say that it stays as is. Search all out of play areas for creature in the forest and spawn it. So he's already spawned because he was already in play. So he doesn't do his ambush, I don't think. Oh man, I gotta go find the ambush rules. I'm just gonna say he doesn't because I don't think I think that's only on spawning, and he didn't spawn. He just got moved there, right? He just got placed there. Place a resource token on the current agenda. Treat this current resource token as if it were equivalent to 100 doom. Cannot be prevented. In player order, each investigator draws the top card of the encounter deck. Fuck. Entanglement on me. And Hylophobia. Sign the 4 options. Lose 1 action, discard an asset you control. Take 1 horror, choose and discard 2 cards from your hand among investigators as evenly as possible. So she'll be choosing and discarding 2 cards. And she will be taking 1 horror because she's got plenty of horror available on him. And you will be losing an action and discarding an asset you control. Okay, so you're both testing 3 against 3, so you get to discard 2 cards. And what was the other one I said? Take a horror. And then you get 3 against 3. Hey, Elder Sign. So she doesn't fail that one. Great. She needs to get her strange spray can out, though, to automatically succeed these. so that we can get the fuck out of here. You're all done. I think, was that the last action of the turn? I think it was. Okay. So that's where we were. We were at the last action of the turn is when all of that happened. Now, escape. Ignore all location connections. Each location is connected to each other location to its left and right. After you move the connecting location, draw the top card of the encounter deck. If each investigator is resigned or is defeated, advance. Okay. So, we need to get rid of these entanglements, and we need to somehow get out of the forest drawing an encounter card every time we move. That is brutal. Okay, so he does nothing during the enemy phase. We do upkeep, upkeep. Alright. One doom gets removed off of this. And we each draw our encounter cards for the turn. Pitfall. Attached to the nearest forest location without a copy of Pitfall attached. So it's right there. After investigator enters the attached location, test 3. If they fail, the investigator takes 2 damage and cannot move for the remainder of the round, then discard Pitfall. Okay, that's pretty brutal. And then you get another Pitfall. Okay, that sucks. She can tank the damage. And they already can't move for the remainder of the round, so it's not a big deal. So let's do something like this. Let's draw a card on Hitagi. The Immiseration. Okay, we'll draw another card. We'll draw another card. Is this the Strange Solution? Is this deck missing Strange Solution? Oh. Oh, Strange Spray Can. And I discarded it at the start. What am I thinking? Oh my god. Alright, so we're just going to do the move. So we're going to move over here. This is after you move to a connecting, draw the top card of the encounter deck. Okay. So we're going to move there. After they enter the attached location, test 3. So we're going to do this one first. Is this forced? This goes first. So I choose the order of those two. Test 3. If they fail, the investigator takes 2 damage and cannot move for the remainder of the round. So we're testing 2 against 3. 1 against 3. Fails, take 2 damage. 1, 2. It can't move for the remainder of the round, and that's gone. And then I draw the top card, which is another world, which poops me out here. Oh, that's super fortunate. She can just leave. Yep, she can just leave. That's nice. And then she gets moved over with her safeguard, and then she draws the top card. Okay. Okay, so that's Hitagi's turn. Shinobu is going to do what? She needs to, like, just not die from this guy hitting her a whole bunch of times. So, in order to facilitate not dying from a whole bunch of hits, she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and play both Karen and Tsukiki, who are a little bit weaker than they were before, but they're definitely still strong. She's getting +1 to all of her stats. Yeah. So that's one action. She will test this entanglement off of her. So 5 against 3. -2, that gets rid of it. And you know what? We're actually going to use an action to discard this Portentous Signs to take a damage. And we're going to double the damage, obviously, so it's going to be 1, 2 on Koyomi here. That's so that this inexorable fate doesn't hit us when we walk over here and make us take 4 damage, because we're failing that for sure. And that is her last action. So that was her. He's going to move over and ambush in. We're going to commit the vicious blow. Oh, no, we're going to take damage, aren't we? We're going to use commit a scene of the crime to be 5-6 against 4. 6 against 4 is this much of the bag. Another one will be really useful. I don't think this beat cop's coming into play, so we'll be 7 against 4. Nice damage, so we don't take a horror. At the end of the investigation phase, she got pooped out here from this other world. Okay. Upkeep. Upkeep. Nice. That's useful. A doom gets removed. And then we each draw... Ooh, so she didn't move there. I think she just gets pooped out there. Like, she doesn't... Oh yeah, move each investigator in another world to any revealed location. Ooh, is she allowed to move because of her, entanglement? I don't think she just, like, dies in space. So let's just say that she does. And she does have to draw the top card after she moved. So that's just in her threat area. So, start of the round, we get a Perturbing Interpretation, test 4. So I'm at 4, that's nice. Choose and discard a card from your hand. Okay, well, let's commit a Live and Learn just to be 1 up at least. Oh wait, does that matter? No, right? The amount that I commit does not alter. If they're 1 each, yeah, I don't commit anything. -2. I do place a doom on the current agenda, which is hilarious. And I have to discard 2 cards, so I'm going to discard a 45 because I don't think I need that many weapons before I leave. And I'm going to discard a Live and Learn, because I think staying alive and dealing a bit of extra damage with the Enchanted Blade is a little more important. For here, she draws a Perturbing Interpretations as well. So she's testing 3 against 4. And she's just has to take that as well. -2, so she... is at 1, so she has to leave all. She has to discard all the cards in her hand but 1. So let's just go like that. I don't know why I shuffled that. I'll use that to gain a resource, I guess. Okay. So that's that Mythos phase. That's gone. So we'll start with Shinobu first, I guess. There's no way she beats this pitfall test. Well, she's even with it, so technically there's a way. It's just not likely. So that's going to get her stuck for the turn, isn't it? Yeah. So she's going to take a draw action first, just in case she gets an icon, and then she's going to move. She'll draw the encounter card first to see what it is. A Tanuki. She'll take an attack, 5 against 2. And then she'll do the pitfall, which I'm going to say I commit to. No, I'm not going to commit to that. 3 against 3. There's decent odds. Like, it's like just 50%, right? Just under 50% for a single thing. But I can just cancel the damage. 0, so I pass. And then I'll take a swing with the Enchanted Blade with a Vicious Blow committed. this guy. -3, which hits him and kills him. I'll heal a damage off of Koyomi to draw a card. The Ataxia, which I forgot to remove from my deck when I added the permanent in, apparently. And then that is the end of her turn. Her turn's going to start, and she loses 2 resources, and then she immediately resigns. I think I got out with Meme is probably important, but I'll just put him right there. Presumably he gets added to a deck, and he's likely going in her, because she could definitely use some soak, given how he's been going. And that's her. Okay, so he hunts in, and we have to do another stupid ambush. We'll just do the ambush 5 against 4, -1, so I hit him for 1 damage. Upkeep. Okay. 1 Doom gets removed, and we draw an encounter card. It is a Nekomata. If I fail a fighter evasion attempt from resolving the ambush against him, shuffle him into the encounter deck. Yeah, so let's try to evade him, right? Because I don't want to have to fight him. If I don't want him to spawn on me, I'd rather fail. So we'll try to evade him. So we're currently at 3 against 2. So we do fail. He does attack us for 1 and 1, right? So 1 and 1, but he gets shuffled back into the encounter deck. So we don't have to deal with him this turn necessarily. So we'll do 1 move, which draws us an encounter card. Let's move again, and I'll discard my automatic. And I think I want to play the Enchanted Blade just in case an enemy pops out that I have to kill, and I don't want to take more time on it. I don't know if another move would have been better, but it is what it is. He hunts there. Upkeep phase. A Doom goes down 1. Oh, I forgot to draw again, didn't I? Yeah, I forgot to draw another time. So this would have been for the next move. Yeah, okay, and then I draw a card during the Doom phase. Will he move a location towards me, or will I... Oh, Tireless Pursuit. Place a Doom. I think that I can just place a Doom on this, right? Yeah, I think I just place a Doom and it surges. Ooh, Tsuchigomo. A 5/7/2. After he engages you, search the encounter deck and encounter discard pile for 1 copy of Entanglement and draw it. Fuck you. Okay. Oh, it's sideways. Entanglement. Okay, so I do want to kill him. That'd be really nice, getting an extra VP out of this. But he's pretty tough. That's a bummer. Because I'm gonna be locked down here for a while if I try to kill him. But I think it seems worth it. So we're gonna do an attack with the Enchanted Blade. We're at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against 5. 1 damage. No, we'll spend a charge to make that deal 2. And then we'll attack again. 5, 6, 7. Oh, and I draw a card because of the overpower. Where'd the overpower go? Right there. We'll attack again with the Enchanted Blade. We're at 5, 6, 7, 8 against 5. -1. So I'll heal 1 from him, draw a card, and we'll spend that to deal 2 damage. And then I'll attack 1 more time for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against 5 +1. So we'll deal 1 damage with that and draw a card with the Overpower. Stand together is no good to me, but that's okay. He hunts, which does an attack against me. I 5 against 4 still. Oh, actually, I'm 6 against 4. I was forgetting about this. So 6 against 4. I hit him for a damage. And then he attacks me, which deals 1 damage to me. And then I block 2 of the horror and gain 2 resources. Upkeep. Okay, that's nice to have. Lose a Doom, and then an encounter card. Okay, I'll be discarding this Chain of Blade if I can kill this guy off. So, let's try to kill this guy off. We're going to attack with the Enchanted Blade, which is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8. I didn't realize against 5. So 8 against 5, first action. -3, so we'll spend the thing there, which will deal 2 damage to him, putting him in the victory display. We will heal a horror with the Enchanted Blade, and then shuffle and take a horror. Christ. That's okay, I think. We will discard one of our Enchanted Blades. Whoops, that doesn't go there. And then we will take a move to here, discarding stand to... it's good icons. Discarding a Live and Learn, drawing a card from the top. Let's do a fight against him, I guess. So a very low fight, so he's going to be dealing me damage. Yeah, he deals me a damage. So he pecks me once, and then he discards an asset I control. I guess I'm getting rid of the safeguard, and then he gets discarded. Okay. That was from my move. Ooh, I should have taken a horror from that. Okay, good to note. Okay. So then he hunts onto me, and I do the ambush again. So I'm at very low. So I guess I do the evade here. So I'm at 3 against 4 with the evade. I fail, so he deals me a horror. Okay. Upkeep phase. Soothing Melody, interesting. So -1 Doom off the agenda, and then a new Nekomata. We'll be doing an evade on him again, and I think this time I want to succeed so he doesn't deal me, like, just kill them off. So I'm at 3 against 2. Oh, I can just cancel the attack. So 3 against 2. 0. But I do evade him, so he just pops out there. I take a move which causes me to discard a card from my hand, which causes me to take a horror. And I draw an encounter card after I've moved. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, well, I discard 2 cards from my hand. And I take a horror, which is going to finish off Tsuki here. And then I will resign. Whew! What a scenario. Holy shit. Get rid of all those. We'll take a look at the resolution. If each investigator is resigned or is defeated, advance. Sorry. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Out of the woods. Each investigator who is resigned after Agenda 1A reads this section. Your chest feels like it's about to explode as you dash out of the forest. When you exit the forest, the blinding sun pierces your vision. Everything seems to have returned to normal. If an investigator was in control of Meme Oshino when they resigned, R2. Otherwise, R1B. Okay, so R2 it is. Coming out from the foliage, you see the familiar face of the guy wearing the Hawaiian shirt. Ah, I was waiting a rather long time for you, Meme Oshino exclaimed. You wondered how long had Meme Oshino had been in the forest. You briefly glanced at your cell phone. The clock didn't move a single minute from the time you entered the forest. You push all these unexplained occurrences to the back of your mind. Perhaps Meme Oshino could explain to you what's going on. I got what we need. He pulls out a strip of paper from his pocket. It looks like one of the talismans you've seen plastered on the numerous rocks in the forest, but with more intricate patterns. So the bad news. We have to return to that town. Izuku Gaien is planning to open the gate again, this time to go into it. There was that name again. You asked him what this was all about. I'll explain in more detail on the way back. We should have a few hours before everything goes unstable again. In your campaign log, record the investigators have found Meme Oshino. Any one investigator must add Meme Oshino to their deck. Oh, interesting. This card does not count towards the investigator's deck size. If that investigator were to be killed or driven insane, choose another investigator to add Meme Oshino to their deck. Cool. Any one investigator must add the talisman to his or her deck. This card does not count toward that investigator's deck size. If that investigator were to be killed or driven insane, choose another investigator to add the talisman to their deck. So I think both of them are going to go into Hitagi here. Where are they? Here's the talisman. It is a 5 wild asset. Ooh, you know what? I think that this goes in here, actually. As a matter of fact. And Meme will stay with her. I don't want her quixotic to discard it, right? Like, you might need it, right? You might need to go find it. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display, which is just 1, 2. So not a lot of victory. Were these? I wonder if these were victory locations that I didn't get. The ones that go into the victory display. Yeah, see, these are victory locations. Would have made the whole scenario a lot trickier, right? There would have been fewer of these altered forests and stuff, I think. So it's a bit of a bummer only getting 2 experience for the scenario. But we did get an extra one on Shinobu, so. I'm totally out of room there, so let's write it here. Meme Oshino was saved. I don't remember. Met with him, probably. Anyways. Have found Meme Oshino. Okay. So, there's an interlude here, and, you know what? What time is it? Nah, it's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm going to have to call it quits. I'll read this one before I start Kaimonogatari on the next episode, which will be up Monday. I'm also going to be starting up my campaign play-along for Return to the Forgotten Age that Werner organizes over on Mythos Busters, so those are going to be up, like, whatever. I was posting them on Saturdays. I'll probably keep posting them on Saturdays, just if that's when I have time to play it. If I'm able to play it Friday night so I can post it Saturday morning when we're all good to have played, then that's when I'll post it. But, I mean, I've been really busy lately. Work's been pretty nuts, so that might not go up till later in the week. Who knows? We'll see. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it if you're still watching, and I'll see you next time.